Okay, the question is, I'm a young person and I want to buy a house. How do I do it? All right, I love this question. This is a great question. These are fun questions to answer because I can go back in time and tell you what I would do. So, with the knowledge that I have, if I were to go back to my early 20s, this is what I would do. Uh, I would get as many jobs as I can. I would get a second job. I would get a third job. I would spend most of my day working. Uh, and I would be saving as much of that money as I could, which means I'm not really going on vacations. I'm not going out to eat. I'm not buying expensive cars or new cars. I'm buying a car that just barely runs. The cheapest car I could find, I'm buying that. Every dollar and cent that I'm taking in for my jobs, I'm saving. I'm putting in a short-term saving account. I'm also not getting into debt, so there's not going to be any debt that I'm accruing. I'm also going to be cost cutting, clipping coupons. I'm, not going to be making frivolous purchases. So all these things uh, I'm doing is an attitude of sacrifice. And I think when you're younger, you have the luxury of sacrifice more so than when you're older, because you have time, you have the benefit of time. So you can really suck it up and just kind of live a very Spartan lifestyle where you don't have a lot, but you're really working hard. And that attitude of working hard will pay off long term and manifest itself in ways that you can't even dream of. So it's really an attitude that nothing owes me anything, and I'm going to work hard for it. And so at the same time, I'm doing all this. I'm going to start working with a lender who's going to look at my income, look how much money I've saved, looking at my credit scores and whatnot, and they're going to come up with, how much of a house I can afford and buy. And I'm going to buy that house as soon as I can. And I'm not going to be really picky on the house itself. This isn't my dream house. This is just a house. So I'm going to buy that house, and then depending on how many rooms it has, let's say it has 3 rooms, I'm going to live in one room and I'm going to rent out the other 2 rooms. In fact, I'm going to take the worst room in the house, the smallest room, and I'm going to rent out the nicer rooms because I can get more rent that way. So I'm going to find my friends, I'm going to find people I know and say, hey, do you want to rent a room? And I'm going to charge them rent to live in my house, and they're going to help pay my mortgage. And so this is what I would do. That's what I would do. And it's called, in the real estate world, it's called house hacking, where you live in a house and you have other people who are living in it with you paying your mortgage. So, and this is a great way to build wealth and help pay off the house, pay down the mortgage. And at the same time I'm doing all this, that this is happening, I'm continuing to work hard, continuing to save, and it's going to allow me to build up the equity in the house and to build up my savings even more so I can upgrade into an even better house. And ideally, I'm never going to sell that first house that I bought. I'm going to continue to rent it out and use it as income, and the income from that house will help pay the mortgage for the next house I buy. So that's in a nutshell what I would do. I would love for you to reach out if you have questions on how to do that in more detail. And so for more real estate knowledge, follow me at Stephen J. Travis.